Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. So, check out how, another example of how family court is just a crap show. And there's just no rhyme or reason for anything in it. It's just a court system. Everybody goes in there and says, oh, the dad is a jerk, and or the mom is a jerk, and just do whatever you feel like, with no particular rhyme or reason, constitutional right. You know, at least in criminal court, you know you have a right to an attorney if you can't afford one. Everybody pleads not guilty. If you go in there and plead guilty, a judge might stop you and say, wait a minute, you need to consult with an attorney and get an attorney before you make a plea. There's certain parameters that they won't cross in criminal court, even though criminal court has its corruption, right? Or its share. But let me point out one of the crazy things about family court, among many. If you go and meet with a guardian, with a guardian ad litem, or even a parenting evaluator, you're going to talk to somebody and give up information and make an argument or make a point to your case. You know, your life with your kid is on. Think about it in criminal court. You're on trial. Your freedom is on trial. You know, your freedom is at stake. You could go to jail. Or if you're being sued for something, you could be owing somebody. Let's say you assault somebody, or you get in a fight and it was self-defense, and they got $20,000 worth of medical bills. You got jail time you're facing, and money sanction or money damages. So your own personal property, your own money, and your freedom's at stake. So an attorney, your attorney in a criminal court case or a criminal case like that, if the cops try to interview you, you know, if the prosecutor tried to interview you after your case started, your attorney would come running and say, what are you doing? How dare you talk to my client without having me present? And they would tell you to shut up, don't say a word, and you do all the talking. If they ask you something, then, you know, your attorney looks over and says, okay, go ahead and answer that or whatever. So, in family court, how can you have a home visit with a guardian ad litem and your attorney's nowhere around? Your attorney is supposed to be the expert on your case. They're supposed to make sure they help preserve your rights and advise you correctly. And when a guardian ad litem is interviewing you and interrogating you, and usually a guardian ad litem is an adversarial person with your life with your kid on the line, you go and meet with the guardian ad litem, and you're at their mercy, and sometimes the guardian ad litem is an attorney. So an attorney leaves you alone to be with an attorney. Now, if you prep with the guardian ad litem, I just talked to a guy, was it today or yesterday? I think it was today. I met with a guy, he's getting ready to get with a guardian ad litem. And he does have an attorney. His attorney isn't really prepping him, so he talked with me about dealing with the guardian ad litem, because like I've told you guys over and over, you can go look at my winning orders on my flow page. Every time I've had 2 different guardian ad litems, and each one, none of their recommendations were ever adopted. Guardian ad litem recommended, Your Honor, don't find the mother in contempt. Found in contempt. Your Honor, don't enter the parenting plan without James doing domestic violence treatment. No order for domestic violence treatment. Then, had a different guardian ad litem when the mother was trying to object to me relocating and modifying the parenting plan. She lived in LA. She objected to me moving from Seattle to Tacoma, which is like 30 miles. She abandoned our daughter for a year and a half. But it was her attorney, Don Wayne Farrell, on 4127 Northeast 95th Street in Seattle. That's his office. It's his home office. It's his public address on his bar association profile. So, Don Wayne Farrell helped the mother object to me moving, and he just got off. He got aroused by abusing the court system personally himself. So he did that whole thing. But in that case, there's a guardian ad litem. And she made a couple of mistakes about my daughter, and I destroyed her credibility with that. And you can look at the transcript. It's in my flow page, where the family court commissioner, Stephen M. Gaddis, he's a commissioner pro tem, he said the Guardian Ad Litem report is unreliable, and James did a great job briefing the court and breaking everything down. So I've destroyed Guardian Ad Litems, so you can do it without an attorney. But the whole concept of having an attorney and due process and protections and things, you have an attorney to advocate for you. You're going into the lion's den with the Guardian Ad Litem by yourself. And the Guardian Ad Litem sometimes is asking setup questions, and you're left alone. That's why if I have a Guardian Ad Litem in my home doing a home visit, I didn't think about it before because I had no idea what I was getting into. In 2001, early on in my court case, I would be recording the meeting with the Guardian Ad Litem. I would have a video camera or surveillance camera if you have them in your homes. I'd have that stuff on, because the Guardian Ad Litem comes in your home and starts saying you dropped the baby, or you did this, or you reacted, or a flail in your arms, and you got video proving that they're a liar, boom, they're busted. I would ask the Guardian Ad Litem, can I record this conversation? And if they say no, and you say, wait a minute, is there a problem? Like, what, is there something to hide? Because when we go to court and you conversate with the judge, it's recorded. Is there a particular problem? And if she says, no, I just don't want to, or whatever, say, okay. And then if she says no, and I need her permission, some states you don't got to have somebody's permission. And especially if it's in your home, she's coming into your home, or he's coming into your home, I'm recording that, audio and video, because it's my home. And, I let you in, but you didn't come in with a warrant, so, I didn't have to let you in. But if a Guardian Ad Litem asks me questions and doesn't want me to record, and she's going to be a butt about it, then if she says, okay, what's your concerns about the mother? I'll pick up the tape recorder or a phone or whatever, and I'll go click, record. The question was, what's my concerns about the mother? Here's my answer. The mother's a little bit crazy. She was molested when she was younger, so she hates men, blah, 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 blah. The end. And then I let go. And then she asked me another question. Well, why are you recording yourself? I don't want you to record me. And you could say, the question was, why are you recording yourself? I don't want you to record me. My answer, ma'am, is that I'm not recording you. I'm recording myself, which I have a right to do, and I'm making a note of the questions instead of writing down and taking notes, because I write kind of slow. And then she's got a problem with that. Say, you're going to have to give me a legal reason why you have a problem with this. First of all, I find it disturbing that you feel like you need to interview me secretly when this is a court matter at a public court hearing for a public case, which record will be made public. And you're going to go into a public courtroom and testify about me or report to the court, and you're going to have a report, even though the report's sealed. Everything about the nature of this thing is public, or everything else about it. So I find it odd that you have somebody who's representing the child, so technically the Guardian Ad Litem is acting like a lawyer for the kid, or the eyes and ears of the court, so they're an adversary. The court's not your friend. Why do you think you have a public defender or defense attorney when you're dealing with the court and dealing with the prosecutor? Think about it in criminal court, and really in family court. In criminal court, the judge works for the state or the government. The cops that arrested you works for the state or the government. The prosecutor works for the state or the government, and usually they're all county employees, if it's a sheriff. So you're outnumbered 3-1 with agencies of the government trying to come down and take your freedom, and the only thing standing in your way is a public defender or a criminal defense attorney. Then you go to family court, there's the judge. The Guardian Ad Litem is appointed by the court, so they're an agent of the court, or they kind of work for the court. Then, the other attorney is a private attorney, but there's all these other agencies that come on board, and family court service and all this other stuff. But it's just crazy that your attorney is not there to defend you and make sure you don't say the wrong thing that could be used against you, or you incriminate yourself. Kind of crazy, huh?